it's manga. It's out of Japan, and it's Bleach. And it started as a dubbing for the series. So it was made in Japan and then brought here. I dubbed Yachiru Kasajishi. Come on, Kenny.
Love that. Hey everyone, this is Jana N Nagase from Your Jana on Camera. And today I have the pleasure to be talking to Dina Sherman. She's a voice actor that she's been like voice acting since, I'm not gonna say, but it's 1991. It's been a long time, and then she's amazing. And Dina, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for your time.
Jenna, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And what's really funny is my last name is Sherman. And there's Sherman Oaks, and Sherman Way and Sherman this. My brother was working in Russia and he had a map of the valley where I live, and it's Sherman Way. And the people in Russia are like, Mr. Sherman, who are you? You own this whole village, this whole town, because you're Sherman.
Oh my God, how funny. Imagine
It
that.
was. Yeah, no relation.
No relation to it.
To my
Sometimes we
brother,
have,
yes, but the name is just kind of a random.
yeah,
But yeah.
I know. It's funny. My middle name, Nascimento, which is in Brazil. I'm from Brazil, and then over there is very a common name. So people think that I'm related to some actors, or there is a famous soccer player and everything, but I'm not.
We'd
So
like to claim, but now we're too honest.
yeah, but no, we can't do that. So let's dive in a little bit on your career. You do a lot of
Jump in.
things, jumping on that. So you do a lot of like voice. You lend your voice to different characters, like to anime, to cartoons, and how much fun is to do that for a living? You know what I mean?
Oh gosh, it is. I'm like trying to think of an analogy. You want to crack open a can of, voiceover at least once a day. It's a lot of fun. Being on a group session when you're on a regular animated show that's done like in the United States, and you're in a room with all the other people that are super talented. It's like a stage reading, and we all feed off each other. It's amazing, and especially if it's comedy, we're all like, because you can't laugh and ruin their take, but you're dying. So when they go cut, you're like, laughing. When you do anime or video games, a lot of that is done in isolation. So it's just you in the booth, and you have the engineer. And now with COVID, you have the earphones. So you literally have voices in your head from all over the world directing you. It's kind of fun. I love what I do. I have to tell you, I love creating the characters. I love bringing a script to life, adding a special je ne sais quoi, I don't know, whatever it is that I bring, to make the characters feel real and tell the story. Because the whole job is to really tell the story. But it is hard. It's, we have to audition all the time. I mean, I was auditioning this morning, and I have another one as soon as we're done. And we don't get paid for auditions. No, we have to.
I
It's a
know.
lot of work. We do a lot of prep. We, try to think of what could they possibly want? What are they looking for? And try to guess, and then embody it, and hope they pick us. Hope they pick me.
Yeah, that was the thing. I think this is the magic that the voice actors, you guys do, because you need to you need to perform with your voice. You need to act with your voice. You need to show emotion with your voice, because we are not seeing you. So that's, for me, I think is so. I don't know. It's a lot. It's so strong. What you guys do is so magical that, you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, I
it's kind of,
do.
because I don't know. I think you act more than the actual actors that are in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Because we can see their eyes, you can see their expressions, but you guys, I can't. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And it's something we bump up against all the time. Theater or on camera actors can express a lot with just a look. They can just, so much can be told with just the expression. And for a voice actor, that's dead air. So there has to be intention if we're quiet. But, and it depends on the style of the show. There's certain shows that are adult and dramatic, and there can be pauses. But you have to have the feelings that your face would show in your voice. So it's just a different, not a skill set, it's just a new technique to add to what you do as an actor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, make all the sense. And also, like I think you become attached to the character, you become attached to the projects, to the series, and attached to the people's life, people that are listening to you and while watching those cartoons, those animes and everything. How is this relationship with the fans when you go to these conventions, when you, I don't know, when you get to be interviewed and someone says, "Oh my God, she's the lady that does the so and so." How is this relationship with you? How fun is that?
Oh, wow. It is so amazing. I gotta tell you. For example, Bleach. It's been a series since I think 2000 or 2001, 2002. I don't
I think
remember.
2001, 2001.
2001. And it started as, it's manga, it's out of Japan, and it's Bleach. And it started as a dubbing for the series. So it was made in Japan and then brought here. I dubbed Yachiru Kasatoshi. Come on, Kenny.
Love that.
And here, you know what? Let me show you. An artist at a convention had me sign this giant poster, like painting, and I signed it, and then he handed me this. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, look at that.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I can see it, but I can see it.
There you go.
Perfect. Oh my God, so good.
That's, oops, on this side.
So
That's
good.
oops.
Yeah, that's you. Okay.
That's you. And I ride on Kenpachi's shoulder. And I love the artwork so much that I said, "Can I pay you for this and commission it to sign autographs?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I made a bunch of copies and I take that. But what's really interesting is that's another one that we would record in a booth by ourselves with a director and an engineer. And we have a great time, the two or three of us. But there's no connection to anything else. And then all these conventions started. And last year was my first year going. And I got to meet people that the characters changed their lives. For example, it's like all of a sudden my world opened up because, it's like we make it. I never hear anything, never became a part of anything beyond that. And then I go to a convention and this father comes up to me with his little girl and he says, "Yeah, we drove over 4 hours to come and meet you." And I'm like, "Really?" And the little girl's like,
Yes.
and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just so moved. Thank you so much. And he goes, "Oh, and look," and he takes and he lifts his, t-shirt sleeve up. And that picture was basically Kenpachi with Yachiru on top was tattooed on his arm. That's how much of a fan he is of the two characters.
Wow.
So of course I autographed his arm in Sharpie.
Of course you did, but that I think that's the beauty of like how much you guys bring, like impact people's lives, like the kids, the young kids, the big kids, everybody. You know what I mean? Like I think
he's still a kid. Yeah, the Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War just came out, so it's been brought back, and I stayed on as Yachiru, and the fan base is just amazing. In Genshin Impact, another video game that I do, I play Diona, bartender at the Catskill.
Oh my God.
That show has an insane fan base or video gamer base. They love it. And what just moves me every time is I'll have parents come up and just say, "Thank you." I'm like, okay, no, you have no idea, during the pandemic or since they've hit middle school, there's so many situations. They said, what has helped so much is the show and having your character on their team and feeling connected. It's made them braver. It's made them come out of the closet and tell us their identity issues or to explain how depressed whatever it is. And I've had parents break down and cry in gratitude, which is like, stop it, I'm going to do that. And then we
Yeah.
were hugging each other. Um, and to feel that you can touch people like that is beyond anything I can describe other than I'm going to cry. Just to tell you, I mean, it's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. It's pretty amazing.
It's
I
really,
love after being isolated to record and doing what you do and then meet the people that like it. It's overwhelming and fabulous.
yeah, but I think that changed because I think in the beginning when you start and the disconnection with the fans, I think that this last like I don't know, 20 years, 15 years got closer to the body. I think brought actors and fans closer. I don't know because I think before wasn't like that. I think it
Um,
was different. And I think that's very important that you know that you have this mission that you're gonna help someone.
yeah. I
It's amazing. I love that. I love that. I love that.
it's pretty cool.
You also like very experienced, and you being is a female voice actor is different. Like because the industry's changed a lot, evolve a lot. Is it did it change for you since you started from now? If you can compare being a female voice actor.
So what's changed the most since I started was more roles are being written for women. That was not, there were, everything was very male heavy. And it wasn't always male Caucasian heavy, although predominantly, yes. Um, but if there were other races or, yeah, I guess races involved, other colors, they were still men. And women, we can do boys. That's fine. You know, men are jealous, but, you know, we can't do, I can't anyway, do past puberty. I can get the voice crack, but that's about it. Um, so it's nice to see so many more female centric cartoons now and more female roles in what was predominantly male video games or male um, cartoons. You know, now there's more. So that part has changed. Um, the world has really changed. Not so much. I mean, oh, okay. Big question, trying to find the right answers. To answer your question, that's the biggest thing as a female is that there are actually more roles to do. Um, Everything changed though during COVID. So, um, okay, so before COVID, way back about 2005, my agency decided to go virtual. So we had to create our own recording studios in our homes. So by the time the pandemic hit, I was on my second computer and set up in my studio. I was there, I was ready, and then the world shut down. Uh, and what was great is animation kept going. Animation, they learned real quick. I love animators. I love the people involved in this industry. They're just creative and smart and funny and, you know, ready to do whatever it needs, whatever it takes. And so they quickly adapted, went on Zoom, did all the different things they needed to do. So we were all ready to continue producing stuff, which was really interesting when the pandemic hit and all of the production shut down. The world of animation and anime and everything else kept on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting because by that point I'd started signing online and I started realizing there were fans that wanted to meet me. And so I was doing live streams and chatting with people. And I was getting messages through Instagram or Twitter, X, whatever it's called, telling me about their situations. You know, the war in Ukraine broke out and people that were in Ukraine or in Poland or in nearby countries, what it was like. They were experiencing this huge storm with lightning and thunder for days, uh, personal issues, being stuck in the house or apartment with their parents, all these different things. And I was getting messages basically saying, thank you. Your show, which isn't my show, I'm a character on it, kept me sane. Your show helped me overcome my fear of thunder because they were still watching all the animation. It was really impressive. The flip side of it is now that everything went virtual, everyone and their mother and gardener think they can do voiceovers and bought home equipment. And so the competition pool is now huge.
Really? I didn't
Yes.
realize that the people that everybody, well,
Everybody thinks they can do it, which is great. It just makes it a little harder.
yeah, I know. I can imagine. I can imagine. But I know that there is this change because people start going like working from home. They have studios and everything. I was like, this is crazy. Someone in China can be recording something here. I don't know. It's crazy. It's
Actually,
crazy.
I'm recording here and the person's in China.
Oh, you see? I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Voice is in my head. Yeah.
But that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. 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 And also you do right now you have like this the Bleach series that's on. You have video games. What do you like the most? Like you like to do more the manga or more the video games? What do you
Well,
have a
Bleach is both.
preference or no?
Bleach actually is both. Way back in the early 2000s, they did a video game. Now I'm on a couple of video games and a couple of animes and a couple of regular cartoons. Um, I really love it all. Do you want me to tell you the technical parts of it? Are you interested in knowing
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah?
that'll be fun.
Okay, so on.
Especially the video game because I don't know anything about it.
Oh, okay. Even with video games and anime, we tend to almost never get the script in advance, ever. I mean, I think once somebody sent me something, and I'm like, oh, I have to prep. It's like, usually you walk in, and it used to be on paper. Now it's on a giant screen, and they have your lines, and it's just your lines. It's not anyone else's. It's just yours. So the director can give you a backstory and tell you a little bit about, okay, you're you're a woman who lives in Brazil, but you left since you were 3 years old and you grew up in Germany, and this is the struggle you have to face when fighting the Nazi zombies.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And you're like, okay.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm from Brazil and German, and I don't like Nazi zombies. Great. Of course, I just made all that up, by the way.
No, I know.
Like I haven't done anything with that. But so you have to and take it all in, and then you just have your line. And some directors are great and they'll read you in, which means they'll read the line right before yours. So it'll be like, so Jana, do you always pick, purple fruit? You go, no. You know what the line is, and you go, you can answer it. Now you can just answer, which really helps for acting. And you sometimes get directors who just say, okay, next line, and you're like, what's the context? Why am I saying this? Where are we? All those who, what, where, when, why stuff for actors. But that's kind of how it is, and you don't get to prepare. It's sight reading. You are looking at it and reading it like this, line after line after line, and you try to get the most acting you can in, say everything correctly, and don't take too long because you're only booked for a certain amount of hours.
Yeah.
It gets tricky when you have to lip sync. A lot of the video games now don't, they're wild, and sometimes they're not sunk up, or they'll sync it up later. But when it's done like in another country, like Bleach is done in Japan, Genshin Impact, I think, does have other languages, but we don't lip sync on it anyway. When you have to lip sync, you now have the same thing going on, where you have your lines. You might have one line, you might have 3 paragraphs. Let's break it down, but you might have a paragraph of all these things, and you need to watch the screen because you need to say it at the same pace the mouth is doing this.
Yeah, that's tough.
It is a skill set. That it is. There are 3 beeps that you get. It goes boop, 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 and where the 4th beep would be is when you start talking, right? And you start your line, and it has to fit. into the same space, because this is done, the cartoon or the video game or the anime. It's all done. So you have to fit it. And you have to make sure that when you go, yay, the mouth isn't, because that would never work.
Yeah.
You can't go, if the mouth is.
Yeah.
So certain words work and certain words don't. Sometimes we have to rewrite as we go. That's technically how those all work. And the last one, which is my favorite way to play, is when you are in a group session. And you're
That
sitting or
everybody's
standing with
together.
everybody.
That's
Because then you
amazing.
play off each other. There's, a camaraderie, relationships. They're not faked. In when you only get your own lines and the director's telling you over headphones what the guy before you said is a little different than what the guy said before you was sitting right next to you.
Yeah. It's funnier. You know what I mean? I think it makes more sense. And I
Both
know,
are great. Both are great. It's just more fun to be sitting next to the people.
yeah, I know. I know that in Japan they always group together the actors to do the voice acting, the
I don't
voiceover.
know. I don't know if
Yeah,
they do it on video game. Do they do it on video games
I
and
don't know.
anime?
I know the series they do, but
The
not
series, yeah.
yeah, I know that they always group all the actors together to do it. And I thought it was so funny because usually here they don't do that. So it's pretty much by yourself with the director.
Actually, during COVID, they learned to actually do group sessions without being in groups. So they still
Oh,
did it kind of like we do anime and video games.
oh, got
So
it.
most of the time, animation is done in a group. Sometimes, though, the main character, someone who's famous is on the show, is busy at doing something else. So their stuff is literally phoned in. I mean,
Okay.
it's recorded it's recorded with the editor, from their studio to the editing. And they're not there, but everyone else pretty much is. So
That's great. Also, you lend you the voice of the Annie Awards
yes,
for the last 19 years. Oh my
this
God,
was my 19th year this Saturday. Yeah.
yes, and it's gonna be you have this ceremony this year. How excited are you to be part of that?
I
And
love it.
yeah,
I'm sorry, I interrupted. What was the rest of your
no, no,
question?
no, 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 that's it.
um, I look forward to it every year. It's really cool to honor the people we never really see. Sometimes we have celebrities nominated. For example, Kobe Bryant, when he had Dear Basketball,
Yeah.
he was with Glenn Keane, who's an amazing animator, and they made this animated short. And so he was there. So he was definitely a celebrity who was nominated and won. But usually it's the storyboard artists, it's the writers, it's the directors, producers, it's all these people that are so incredibly talented, bring us such magic. You never really see them, and the Annie Awards celebrates them and awards excellence in this arena. And it's really special to hang out and be there. And I feel honored that I get to sit in the wings. You
Yeah,
have to hear. I love it.
that's amazing. I think it's super cool. And also for us to kind of wrap it up, do you have
Ah,
an
our
advice?
time's our
Yeah,
time's up. Wow.
yeah. Like what advice you gonna give to someone that wanna pursue a career in voice acting? The young kids, they're gonna pursue a career. What advice would you give to them?
Um, it's two-pronged. The first one and most important for kids, I think, is to be a kid, to go to school, to learn to be the best um, person you can be, achieve, your best, uh, your highest level. Go for your highest level. Be well-rounded. Get into sports, get into drama club, get into speech and debate, be in the band. The more you do and you add all of this, for successful voice actors or actors, the best thing in the world is to watch humanity and absorb it. I know I started out, imitating everybody else and trying to do what they do and pick up accents, by imitating everything. And it's never meant as an insult. It's because I like it enough that I want to try doing it. I think it sounds cool. And you just absorb everything. Oh, okay. So here's one to answer your question. I was working on Paroro. It's like Harry the Hummingbird. And they wanted me to stay and sing part of a song. They had singers singing all the parts, but this one part had to be rapped. Boom, just like whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not a rapper, and I have to do it in character. And the engineer said, yeah, it's really weird. This whole thing is like syncopated. And the minute he said syncopated, as a drummer and someone who was in band and did all of that stuff, I knew what that meant. It meant kind of the between the beats. Instead of boom, 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 it was boom, boom, boom. It's off, syncopated. I nailed it. I mean, we went, a couple of minutes with me trying to get it, doing it in character and everything. And then once I understood the musicality of it, bam, they were like, oh my God, I did it. Yeah. Let's do it again for safety. Second take. Okay. So having experience doing other things is super, super important. Your education is super, super important. You got to learn how to be business savvy because you're managing your own career. You might hire a manager. You hopefully will have an agent, but you got to know how to do this, how to manage your own stuff. Work with your parents if you're under 18. And then the other part is the techniques, learning improv, learning basic acting. Doing voiceovers isn't just doing a voice. Yeah. Some people, their voice is what you hear. They just have one note. Their voice is like like Lorenzo Music, Garfield the cat. That's his normal voice. That's what he sounds like. He's made $1 bazillion on one voice, but he's good actor. So you can be you and pile on everything you can into being the best you can be, and take improv. Improv's super good because things change. You might get a line change. You might get things like the Annie words. I mean, I'm told right up to the person walking out on stage, oh, could you please say this for me instead? Can't improv it, but you got to be able to think quick and move and all that fun stuff. Yeah, take workshops, study people, watch shows and imitate your favorite ones. That's probably the best advice I can give you is that. I don't want to repeat myself.
No, that's amazing. Short on time. No, that's amazing. Dina, it's amazing to meet you. I hope we meet you one day in person.
I know. I feel like we virtually met. We Zoom met.
Exactly. So I just want to thank you so much for your time. A pleasure. And you're always welcome here to my YouTube channel. Yeah.
I subscribed. I like your interviews. They're great.
Thank you so much. No,
and
thank you.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much. Bye. If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos.